Good afternoon, everyone. David Paul speaking. It's about 10 to 4 here on Friday, the 22nd of January 2021. We're looking at the American market as always. When I start these things, the American market is awful little this morning. Not the end of the world. The Dow's still sitting at 30,932. But what we can see is that the declines today significantly ahead of the advances, and that the traffic light on VectorVest is saying caution. All right, the short-term trend is up, the longer-term trend is up, and we've got a confirmed call in place. I think I've got the market timing chart of the American market loaded. There we are, folks. That's the VectorVest composite of the US, all 8,000 plus shares that we follow, and you can see that those are the longest term measures of the market, the confirmed calls, and that's been up since the 10th of November and still up. So all the trends on VectorVest are up, and there are some headwinds. As you can see, this momentum indicator, or proprietary MTI, is showing divergence, and that divergence now is has lasted for a couple of months, so it's significant. The buy-sell ratio has come off a little bit, but still in a mega overbought situation, but not showing any divergence with price. In other words, there's no noticeable difference between the direction of the price and the direction of the buy-sell ratio. So we have to be careful in a mega overbought situation, but nevertheless the trends are up, and I'm sticking with those trends as long as they are up. So if I go to the program itself and I look into viewers, I'm not unhappy with my efforts, although I haven't done maybe as much as I should. I was looking at Boeing earlier and I haven't bought it, so let's get rid of that. So apps starting to look really good. AMD starting to look really good, gapped up this morning. Apple's pushing on an all-time high. GRG is going. This little PLTR starting to look quite exciting. And if I chart that, can maybe I'll be able to convey to you as to why I think it's exciting. There's the earnings per share. So it's gone from losing a heap of money to making a little bit of money. The moving averages are very positive, and it is pushing once more on this level of resistance, which I thought was going to go there, but it didn't. And as you can see, there's a little trend line underneath here, and that looks to me as if that wants to break, and break soon. So sitting at 27, needs to get through this resistance. If that's the case, then there's a target on that of about $40 odd. So that is quite an exciting development. I'm very happy with apps, and apps, if we have a look at the share, there's the earnings per share. That's the engine that's driving this up the page. And if we have a look at it over the last little while, as you can see, it pulled back to that last old top. There's also a trend line there, and you can see there's lots of touches to that trend line. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's now pushing at the $65 level. Came back yesterday to kiss these old highs, which is perfectly normal, and gap down today, and now has reversed that gap. That was known as by the old floor traders as a gap and snap. So I'm hoping that this is going to snap through that 65 level. If that's the case, then there's a really good target for this. So all is good there. Now, one share that I don't own, which I've got in here, is Square. It was brought to my attention this afternoon, and Square sitting in a really interesting situation. There's earnings per share, and if I just minimize that for a second and I pull up a 3-month chart, there's no doubt, folks, that this could in fact be a double top. There's no discounting that. Nevertheless, the trends are up here, and for those of you that Fibonacci analysts, it's sitting on a 78% retracement of that range, and it was bought at that 78% retracement pretty much to the tick, as you can see. So if I got some confirmation that this bottom was going to hold, then I think that there is a potential swing trade in square. I won't do anything today, but if this were to finish in the green, I would in fact consider on Monday buying a breakout of that high on Monday. But the advice on the front page of VectorVest is to do nothing today, to award caution, and I think I'm going to heed that today. So a nice green day today, a reversal day today would be good, and let's see what the general market does. If I in fact have a look at the Dow, it's off 18 points from last night's close, but that in this context, folks, is not the end of the world here, and it would seem to me, to my chartist mind, to want to pull back, and has pulled back to that old high. So a very important level, and I don't think even under the most bullish circumstances that you could expect anything else. There is a long-term support level in the market sitting down around here, so we could easily see a pull back to here before it goes again. So let's just respect the front page of VectorVest. It tells us exactly that we should be cautious today, and that's very, very good advice indeed. The UK market, if I get rid of all these open windows so I don't get confused, the UK market had 3 green lights on that Wednesday close. There's the Thursday close, still looking very positive, and the color guard is somewhat bullish. VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. All of the measurements on VectorVest are good, and I'm holding maybe too many stocks in the UK. Sylvania has done really, really well for us, and that share has more than doubled, and it's just not surprising it's pulling back a little bit. There's earnings per share driving it. Share price has gone from 5 to 15. There was some very impressive volume here, which in fact alerts me to the fact that I think some of the funds have brought this onto their watch list. And that outside day was in fact my entry point just there, and these lines are in fact where old resistance has become support. Couldn't be much more basic than that, but it works. So wouldn't be at all surprised to see this pull back to 100 before it goes again. So very, very pleased with our efforts as always. Sitting through all the ups and downs waiting for the big moves is quite a challenge. What I have bought is this GYS.L. It's a online gambling little company, and it's only been listed a month or two. If we look at the valuation on VectorVest, you can see the valuation sitting up around 18. It's trading at 13. Earnings per share is rising, and we've got this beautiful cup and handle pattern, and I bought some of that a couple of days ago. So that's the only thing that I've done in the portfolio since I've last reported on here. The rest of them are going okay. We clearly got to watch Polymetal. I've got to watch, should I say, Pan African Resources with the gold price. The gold price came off again today, but over the last hour or two it's found some support. So a rising bottom on the gold chart from the sell-off a couple of weeks ago would be very positive indeed. Games Workshop starting to look as if we should be interested in it again. I've in fact added to it a few weeks ago, and there's a trend line in place here. And that's the earnings per share. There is a long-term trend line here, and I would suspect it's going to vibrate around that long-term trend line for a while. I haven't drawn this particularly well, but somewhere down around 105, 106. If we see strong accumulation around the 105, 106 level and starting to push up, then a break of this old high is probable. So keep that on your radar. If you haven't got it, then I think that maybe you'll get a chance to get back into it again. I bought here when the market gave us a buying signal way back in April, and I bought some more here, slightly under £100 a week or two ago. So I'm looking forward for that to break on the upside. One of the ones that in fact has given us a little bit of trouble, well, it's given me quite a bit of trouble, is plus 500. And plus 500, although the fundamentals look exceptionally good, has pulled back and is sitting. I'm not particularly worried about it because this resistance has become support, and it looks to me as if that support is trying to hold. Nevertheless, folks, if this should in fact break those lows and not find support around those lows, then it's got to go. But for the moment, I'm still holding it, and this could quite easily be the best place to buy into it. Earnings per share, as you can see, has gone over the last 9 months here. It's gone from 90 pence to, it's doubled in fact, so that can't be bad. Probably this is a really good place to get into it. If you're not into it, just be careful that it's caused us a bit of angst over the years, this stock, but that looks like technically an exceptionally good place to buy in if this support holds. So that's what I've been doing. I've probably got too many stocks at the moment in the UK, and I want to try and thin them out, but Tristel, in fact, is a stock that has done well in the last day or two for us. It didn't do anything, as you can see. That's that earnings per share moving up strongly, and it pulled back to this long-term trend line that goes back for a very long time, and I can't remember I bought it, but certainly bought it at these support levels here at £4 odd, and it's now moving up and moving up to 610, so reasonably pleased with that. Making good money at the moment when everybody wants to wash their hands every 20 seconds. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's just stay strong. The trends in the markets, both sides of the Atlantic, are stretched, but they can easily run into April or May from here. The seasonality of a new American president is a run after the president is inaugurated, and then a pullback into March, and then another run into the summer. So that's the seasonality. Is it going to happen this time around? I have no idea. I shall be trading the market and not the forecast. Look forward to seeing all the VectorVest people at 1:30 on Monday afternoon while we go through this in a great deal of detail. Anybody listening that hasn't or is not a member of VectorVest, if you want a complimentary invite to our Monday afternoon session, just email me and I'll send that to you. david.paul@vectorvest.com. Have a great weekend, folks. See you all Monday afternoon.